With things opening up again, I'm going to be travelling across the Highlands towards the Outer Hebrides off Scotland's extraordinary west coast. And I'm going to do it with the help of our travel show van, with an occasional break for the odd charge. My first stop is the UK's largest national park, the Cairngorms. I've heard there's an ambitious 200-year plan to restore this landscape. But I'm not sure our little van is up to the off-road bits. So unfortunately, I've had to switch temporarily to an old-fashioned gas guzzler. Excellent. It's a long jump down, this. So Dan, where are we?
Well, Ade, we're in the Cairngorms National Park. We're at Abernethy Forest, which is owned by the RSPB, but it's part of the Cairngorms Connect partnership.
It is absolutely beautiful. Can you tell me what Cairngorms Connect is?
Yeah, so it's a partnership between 4 different landowning organisations, and what we're trying to do is restore natural processes. We're trying to get the forest to go back to its natural tree line. We're restoring peatlands that's going to help take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. And where we've got rivers that have been altered, we're making them more natural by restoring them to their kind of natural channels.
I mean, excuse my ignorance, to my untrained eye, this looks pretty natural to me. I mean, why would you say it needs to be restored?
Well, we've been working here for the last 30 years, Ade, and if you'd come here 30 years ago, you probably wouldn't be able to see many young trees at all. It's the largest chunk of Caledonian pine forest we've got left, but it's been constrained by grazing animals and burning and man's intervention for a couple of 100 years. So we want to see the forest continue to march right up the hills, and if we're able to come back in a couple of 100 years, we'd hopefully see some trees on the skyline up there as well.
Wow! The partnership use a range of methods to help restore the landscape, including planting trees and managing deer numbers. This part of the Cairngorms is owned by the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, and their on-site visitor centre at Loch Garten has just reopened after a big renovation. This place looks shiny and new.
Yeah, it is, yeah. First month of opening after 2 years of being closed.
The centre's biggest draw is this observation area, looking out onto a tall platform containing an osprey nest.
All right, so you can see the nest in the far distance here. So it's quite a large nest. It's over, massive. Yeah, it's over 1 metre wide, and we need that nest to be big because the chicks get really big really fast.
It looks quite far away from here.
So it does look far away, but it's actually one of the best spots to see them, even from the windows. And we have our live cameras up there, where you can see a really good look at them on the nest.
It's incredible to think that they travel all the way from West Africa here to the Highlands of Scotland.
Yeah, so they migrate at the end of March, beginning of April, from West Africa, Senegal, Portugal, Spain, and it takes them about 1 to 2 months to come all the way here. They're beautiful birds, and they're the only bird of prey that exclusively feeds on fish.
Pescatarians, are they?
Pescatarians, they are, yes. They like their trout.
For almost 40 years in the early part of the 20th century, these birds were hunted to extinction in the UK. Conservation work led to their successful reintroduction, and over the past few decades, their numbers have steadily grown. Today, it's estimated there are around 250 breeding pairs across Britain.
So all the natural processes we talked about, that produces bigger, safer habitats for wildlife to thrive. And the link with ospreys, I suppose, is quite symbolic. The first ospreys to come back to Britain came back in Loch Garten in the 1950s. And we're hoping that Cairngorms Connect is going to bring back lots more nature as we move forward through the 200 years.